Along with episodes in the Pokemon anime, there are also movies that come with it. Let's be honest, most of these movies aren't that good, but there are some good and really good ones as well. Believe it or not, some of the movie plots are actually better than plots in the episodes. Anyways, today I'll be ranking the top 10 best Pokemon anime movies and explain why they got their place. Be sure to like and subscribe. Here's something familiar, Mewtwo Strikes Back. Evolution? This movie is a reboot of the original in 3D. I mean, there were some minor plot tweaks, but overall, the story was the same. The reason why this movie is at the bottom of the list is that it has nothing to offer. For me, I don't like the look of 3D Ash or any other character. The movie just wasn't as good as the original for me. It is still better than most Pokemon movies though. Power of Us, a creative and meaningful, yet kinda stale movie. It plays along with alternate universe Ash, which I like. The idea and plot of this film are creative, and you can see how much this means to them. But since there were so few unique qualities about them, it was hard to really get invested. Another problem is that since there were so many minor events in the movie, there's not much build up for the main plot. At least the animation was clean and consistent. Arceus and the Jewel of Life, a very unique but slow-paced movie. Now, this is what I call a decent Pokemon film. This movie's setting was unique as it showed both current day and the medieval ages of Pokemon. I enjoyed the medieval part of the story as you could clearly see the differences from then to now. The things holding this movie back for me is both the plot of Arceus' rage and that the movie doesn't really have a leading antagonist. It was also kind of slow paced, and I'm okay with slow paced movies sometimes, and I don't mind the pacing of this film, but it didn't add anything either. Pokémon The Movie 2000, an old plot done very well. The chase for the items plot has been done before, but Pokémon did it really well. This movie was entertaining for me, and I enjoyed the additional characters like Melody. There was a lot of CGI in this film, and it didn't fit too well with the rest of the animation. The gems plot was cool, and the villain was pretty threatening. So overall, this movie was just enjoyable for me. It's not amazing, but it's good. Mewtwo Returns, a proper continuation and conclusion to the Mewtwo story arc. I know this isn't a feature-length film, but that doesn't mean it can't continue the unfinished story of Mewtwo and the clone Pokemon. The main antagonist here is Giovanni, who can now compete with Mewtwo's strength using his new technology. Ash and friends help Mewtwo to stop him, and when it's over, Mewtwo allows Ash to keep his memory. Unlike the first film, I like this film and give credit for the writers for making a sequel. I Choose You, a great addition with amazing animation. This movie takes and expands on the plot of the first Pokemon anime episode. In fact, this is the movie that introduced the alternate universe Ash. But I have to say, the animation in this movie is some of the best that the Pokemon anime has ever done. Adding the beautiful lighting as well, the only thing holding this movie back for me is the introduction of Marshadow. After that, the movie felt strange, and it's just not that enjoyable. Mewtwo Strikes Back, the first movie that started it all. I get what the writers were going for here, a sort of horror theme. Fun fact, the movie had a deleted scene in which the scientist used the technology to return his daughter. I enjoyed how it had dialogue to build up Mewtwo as the main antagonist. To be honest, the thing holding this for me is the whole peace thing at the end, which completely ruined the payoff of the film. Lucario and the Mystery of Mew, a heartwarming yet sad movie. This movie had a lot of differences to the typical Pokemon movie. It introduced that Ash had an aura, which was really cool, but the scene of Lucario's passing was so sad, and I couldn't believe the writers had the guts to do that. It was a sad moment, but I feel like it made the movie better. Because of Lucario's passing, it made the stakes higher, so I could really get invested. Spell of the Unknown, one of Ash's best features in the Pokemon anime. What sets off this movie from others is that Ash is not only solving other people's problems, but his own too. When a girl's family is taken by the unknown, she wishes for a new one. When she wants a mom, her father Entei takes Ash's mom. Because of this, it's really important for Ash, and you can see that in his actions. My only complaint for this movie is Team Rocket, who added nothing to the story. Finally, we have Pokemon Heroes. This movie did so much right, and it's one of my favorite personal movies of all time. The villains were really intimidating. The movie wasn't too long, and even Team Rocket weren't bad. What really elevated this movie though was Bianca and Latias. I loved their correlation of Ash and how they were really interesting. Of course, the ending was the cherry on top and wrapped up the movie perfectly. So that's why it got the best Pokemon movie ever.